Thank you very much. For the sake of time, we are going to conclude the audience question portion of the evening. However, we will be providing each candidate with copies of all the remaining questions so that you will be able to contact them to get answers for your questions. Hope you guys are all right with that. But so they'll have that within the next day or two. However, we would like to go ahead and start the closing portion, and we'll start with Commissioner Hoover, since you are next in line.
Again, I want to thank everybody that came out tonight, and thank y'all for the opportunity just to get up here and visit with you and hear some of the questions that are on y'all's mind. Dawn and I have tried to set an example of service in our church, in our school, in our government. My experience volunteering in the county planning and zoning board, the construction licensing board, affordable housing board, children's services council, that's given me a lot of experience and knowledge that I feel gives me an insight to the operations of Okeechobee County. We're facing tough decisions not just for this budget year, but decisions that are going to extend long-term commitments for the financial health of the system that we're going to leave to our children. It's not isolated to Okeechobee. Again, we try to, we think woe is me, but really we're in better shape than a lot of counties. Municipal governments all over this county are having to make these same tough decisions. As a father still raising my children, I have to make those tough decisions at my house. As the owner of a small business, I have to make those tough decisions in my business. It's not easy, but I think my track record speaks for itself. I feel like I'm up to the job. I would welcome any of your input, and I ask for your continued support. I'm committed to a better Okeechobee for my family and yours. Thank you.
I believe that I'd like to thank everybody to come out this evening. It's a pleasure to see a lot of folks that took the time to come out here this evening. This has been quite interesting to answer these types of questions. I think Mr. Culpepper talked about it earlier as we talked. Trying to get up here and answer questions on the fly sometimes is very difficult. But this leads me back to the fact of where I come from. Is that I took a long time to go through the ranks of management. I retired as an executive in 2003. My professional and my volunteer experience, what I've had when I brought back home here, combined with a unique to qualify me to deal directly with a lot of the problems that we have here in this community. My wife and I manage a small business here with the Sybil's Flowers and Gifts, but I've also managed large budgets which were product software lines across the United States, equivalent to about $200 million worth of software product lines. So I believe in that particular aspect, it provides me the opportunity to understand how to manage these large types of budgets. I decided to see this because I wanted a different vision for this community. And if elected, I'll focus on these particular opportunities that are facing us right now, is to diversify our economy, seek better ways to take care of the code enforcement aspects, but help the private sector, both new businesses and old business, to be successful. And while working toward accomplishing those particular goals, I pledge to preserve the quality of life that each and every one of you have wanted in this particular community. When my parents moved here in 1956, you could roll the sidewalks up on Wednesday afternoon and go home, or you could shake hands with somebody and they'd pay you the next day on Friday if they wanted flowers or whatever they wanted out of my mother's shop. So I want to keep that type of quality here, but we also want to do it with smart growth planning. And that's the only way we're going to be able to survive in this particular environment. We have to streamline our operations. We've got to be, I'm sorry. I appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Well, you all have to forgive my rambling. I didn't make a closing statement. I decided to run because, like I said, I'm the 6th generation here, and I wanted to last another 6. And, it's going to take some thrift and hard work to make it happen. And that's who I am. Thank you.
I'd also like to thank you folks for coming out tonight. I thought long and hard before I signed the sheet to do this again. I'm glad I did. I feel as though I can do a better job than Mr. Chandler. I feel like I know I'm older, but I feel like I'm more energetic. We don't have a lot of work in our business anymore, so I'm nervous, you know, I gotta have something to do, and I just want to be a county commissioner. I know I was a good county commissioner for 12 years. I know I can be a good county commissioner for 4 more years, and possibly 8 years. I'm 70 years old, but I feel like I'm 50, so I appreciate your help and support the 24th of this month, August the 24th. Thank you.
I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing. I'm an active member of Okeechobee Baptist Church. When people call me on the phone, whatever day, night, whatever time, I respond by going and seeing them. I don't just say I'll catch you later or get with you tomorrow. What we're going to do in the future, we've talked about working with the constitutional officers, being in more contact with them monthly instead of yearly. That's going to help our whole community guide where we're going to be in the future with our taxes, how to manage our budget better. We've got to tighten up on everything we're doing, and we can do that. But one thing I have to say is, you know what I'm doing. You call me on the phone, I'll come there. I'm as healthy as I am. I'm 63 years old, and I feel like I'm 63 years old. But those who didn't get to answer some of the questions, I'm going to be having a little get-together at Hammerhead's Friday night on Friday the 13th at 7 o'clock. So y'all feel free to come by and have snacks. Thank you.
Let me say first and foremost that I'm not running for this position because I need a job. I'm running for this position because I want to do a better job, and there's a difference. I made a couple commitments to the employees of Okeechobee County, and one is if they're forced to take a salary decrease, I will not only match that salary decrease, I will double that decrease, and I will write a check back to the general fund for that money, because I think it's important that our employees know that our Board of County Commissioners is dedicated, and we're really concerned about them having to take a salary cut. Number two is that I will ask my fellow commissioners, I will do it, whether they do or not, I hope they'll join me, is to every quarter have a nighttime meeting in a specified place so that we don't have our residents coming back after a decision has already been made and have no idea what that decision is. They will know before, so if they want to voice their opinion, pro or con, they can do that. If they want to pass an ordinance and vote it in, I'm all for it. But I think the citizens of Okeechobee County, unlike in the past, need to have the right to be incorporated in the decision-making process of whatever this county decides to do on the capital outlay side. If they want to do it, no problem. But they need to have that input. We need to include them because it's their tax dollars paying for it. I don't want to spend a lot of time going into all my past. I've 22 years as a firefighter. For 21 years, I've served the public. The last 22 years, I've served on boards that I don't have the time to go into. I received 2 gubernatorial appointments by Governor Bob Martinez. Most people are honored to have 1. I was honored to have 2. So I've been involved. This is not my first rodeo. I know what's going on. I know how to solve the problems that we exist, and I'll be tickled to death if you support me to work with my fellow commissioners to try to solve the problems that we face in Okeechobee County. And thank you for coming out and your time. Appreciate it. God bless you.
Well, I think this is the 4th or 5th thank you, but thank you all for coming out, and I look forward to seeing everybody on August 24th. 30 seconds, I'll hurry. Seeing everybody at the polls on August 24th, and don't forget that early voting is going on right now. So you can go up to the Supervisor of Elections office at the new old courthouse and go ahead and vote. Thank you all so much.